Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm not in my usual bedroom. I'm in my dad's house, so I'm in my bedroom at my dad's house. But yeah, I felt like making a video again because again, I made a promise. I didn't make a promise, but I wanted to like be more active, so I have been. So yeah, so today I'm gonna be talking about anxiety. Just to preface, I can talk about this because I have anxiety. I've had anxiety for like years now, and I've been diagnosed, so like don't come at me or anything, but I mean I wish I didn't have anxiety, but it's kind of just something that I have to deal with. At some point it was really severe, but it's gotten better now. So yeah, okay, I wrote down everything here. Okay, so a lot of times when you have anxiety, you're always focused on like the future. You're kind of like in this fight or flight mode, and like obviously you've probably heard anxiety is a good thing because everyone has like some sort of low anxiety, but when you have like severe anxiety, like it's because you get so panicked about things that you shouldn't really be panicked about. Like you're in fight or flight mode when you shouldn't be. A lot of times I get really bad anxiety attacks when I'm just like in my room safe, and I know I'm safe, but for some reason like I can't stop breathing and stuff. And like I feel like people just started taking it more seriously now because like numbers have gone up, but it like really affects you physically. Like there's so many times where like the next day like first of all I don't get any sleep a lot of times because they happen at night, and then like I get really nauseous sometimes. Like I get so like anxious that I almost like throw up, and the next day I always end up with these chest pains, which is not good for my heart or just like me in general. So it's like really important to know how to deal with it because it can be scary. Like it's like, I don't know, like a lot of times you're stuck in the moment like of just like panic because like you feel like it's never gonna end and you're not gonna be okay. But like trust me, it always passes, and I'll tell you how to deal with it. But yeah, so whenever you're like focused on the future, just like think, like a lot of times like even just like figure out your senses, like your five senses, which is like sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Like being like, I don't know about you guys, but I have a really good imagination, so my brain does this thing where I try to plan for worst comes to worst or whatever, and then I start like making scenarios about how I can like deal with like any problems, but I always forget where I am now, and it just makes me so overwhelmed. So like if you think about the future and worry about it, like it's just gonna create like worse scenarios and worse things, and you kind of have to like ask yourself like, is that really gonna happen? And when you're at an anxious state, you can believe anything. Like there was this one time I just woke up really anxious. I was on a trip, so I was at like a family friend's house, and I had woken up pretty late and nobody was around like upstairs, so I just assumed, for some reason I was so anxious, I just assumed that my parents and my little brother turned into zombies. I know it sounds really stupid, but I was like, oh my gosh, like I think they're zombies now, and like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I was showering and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do once I get out of the shower, like, and I see them, like, oh my god, I'm so scared. And like obviously I knew they weren't zombies, but because I was so anxious, I was like this close to believing it. And like a lot of times whenever I'm anxious, you're really just looking for reassurance, you know, like oh my gosh, like a lot of times, like for example, if you're hanging out with someone but you have to like go somewhere after, like you're so like scared that you're gonna be late to this other event, but you're not like saying anything to them. Like a lot of times anxiety is all up in here. If you vocalize how you feel, most of the times, especially to friends and family, most of the time they're gonna like be like, that's like, we're gonna be fine, like don't worry, that's like not gonna happen, like that's not realistic, like no, zombies aren't real. And it's reassuring because you're like, oh, you're right, because a lot of times you can't tell yourself that until you get better at dealing with it. So like affirmations are really good, but if you like are struggling, just like communicate that to other people and tell them like, I'm worried about this thing, and like I don't know, like I feel like this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. They'll be like, oh, slow down, like that's not gonna happen, you don't know what's gonna happen, whatever happens will happen, it'll happen for a reason, but you'll be okay no matter what, you know? And then, what did I write in here? Okay, yeah. But yeah, so that's just like if you're in a case where you feel super stuck in your head, but you're with other people. But a lot of times it could happen when you're alone, and that's what happens to me a lot. Like, I'll get really like anxious to the point where I'll get like panic attacks and stuff when I'm alone, or just like even like at nighttime, and like I'm not alone, like there's people in my house, but I'm just in my bedroom and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, because sometimes like a lot of times like in the daytime there's triggers, but sometimes at nighttime the biggest trigger is that I'm anxious about being anxious, and it's like it just freaks me out, you know? So here are things that I do. First of all, breathe. That is like probably the number one thing any therapist will tell you. But seriously, take a deep breath because it's scientifically proven to help you. Number 2, drink water or even make tea if that relaxes you. Drinking water actually is also scientifically proven to like help you calm down, like, and make your body feel safe, because like if you think about it, going back in time to like cavemen or whatever, if like they're like hiding from like some like big animal, they're not gonna just like be like, oh wait, let me just take a sip of water. No, like they're like scared. So when you're drinking water, it's kind of like alerting your body like, oh, we're safe, we have water, we have food. Yeah, eat food too. Like eating food also helps, but obviously sometimes I get really anxious and I get nauseous. So like even just eating things like crackers or bread or like, yeah, like tea, it works like a charm. And then kind of sometimes this could overwhelm me, but if I'm at a stage where it's like manageable and I just need a distraction, music or movies or books, anything like that can help. But sometimes I'm really anxious and I don't. So what I do is I change my environment. There was this one night I was probably like, this was like the most anxious I've ever been. Like I was really like struggling. I had to wake up my mom and stuff, and I was really like super anxious, and it was, I didn't go to sleep. It was a school night too. I didn't go to sleep till like 6 a.m., but I was just like the whole night just panicking over nothing. And so I got out of my room, I switched from my bed to the couch, and then I switched from the couch to the patio, and it did help a little bit, but didn't completely calm me down, but it did help. And so changing your environment can help a lot too, like whether you're in your room or even if you can, like go outside, go on a walk. Going on a walk can help too. Exercising can help too in some cases, but obviously sometimes, like for me, like if it's 4 a.m., I'm not gonna exercise. Yeah, but just like being outside, fresh air helps a lot, clears your mind, or just changing environments. If you're like in one place, stuck in one place, just like I said, like I was in my bed, I moved to the couch, I brought the things I wanted with me, like my water, blanket, pillow, whatever. Yeah. And then meditating, obviously everyone, that's pretty obvious, I guess, if you've had anxiety for a while, like, you know, but not everyone can really get into it. But I always just go on YouTube, find like anxiety, like music. There's like ones where it's like 10 hours long, and like that helps a lot. Yeah, and but just like guided meditations help too, or again, going back to just simply just breathing helps. And then this one is really important too. I think I need to drink water, but I'm using my water as, this is not a problem, I can fix it. Let me take a sip of water. Ice cold. I'm trying to make my videos where I don't have to edit them because I'm really lazy, and not lazy, it's just I just want to post them, because I think if I like get too wrapped up in editing them, like I won't post, because I have this, I'm going off track, I'm sorry, I have this vlog that I want to post, and it was like in October, and I think it's too late to post it, but yeah, anyways, sorry. Okay, I think the number one thing that will help a lot, like this, like changing your mindset, like acknowledge it. Like it's just like, it's not just like any other emotion, because it's a pretty powerful like feeling and stuff, but if you just accept it, kind of be like, okay, I'm anxious, what can I do to change it, you know? But like bring a positive side to it, not be like, oh my god, I'm anxious. Like a lot of it is just fear, you know, so you're kind of just scared of what's gonna happen next. But again, that's being stuck in that mindset of like, oh my god, I'm going to the future, like, you know, like I don't know what's gonna happen. But really ground yourself into the present moment, sorry, excuse me, and just think like, okay, I'm anxious. Why am I feeling anxious? How can I help myself? If I don't know why, just know that you're gonna be okay. And you've obviously probably felt anxious before, so, you know, what happened? You got better, right? And really think of like good moments in your life, because you know you'll get past it. That's what really helps me calm down, because I'm like, it's happened before, I'll get through it. Even though I'm feeling like this now, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. But yeah, don't forget to breathe and just tell yourself it's gonna be okay. Yeah. Also, I think for me at least, words are really powerful, so that helps a lot. Just in any sense, whether I'm nervous, scared, anxious, depressed, happy, sad, anything, like they're really powerful in my opinion. But yeah, you really have to gaslight yourself. Well, I mean, not gaslight, but just like tell yourself it's gonna be okay, because it is gonna be okay. That's not gaslighting, that's the truth. It's gonna be okay. And if you're not okay, that's okay. You've probably heard that a million times, but it's true. Anyways, thank you to the person who commented on one of my videos to post about this. I'll post, I know my friend Isaac wanted to talk about forgiveness. I'll talk about that in the next video. But otherwise, let me know if you have any questions or anything you want me to talk about, because I will post about it. But yeah, thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.